Hello, I was asked by a fellow mechabellum YouTuber to review his game, so DRN sent me a video file of him playing in the Saturday tournament, and we will be analyzing it. The video of him actually playing this game is on his channel. He hasn't seen this one and I haven't seen his gameplay video, so it will be fun for me to check out what he's thinking in the game after I have done this. DRN is about 1600 MMR, while his opponent is a little bit higher than 1800. So let's go into the game. So finally we have some time to see the starting specs and talk a little bit about them. First, the Elite Specialist. I think the Elite is kinda playable in this current form of metagame, but here without any kind of chaff at the start it's quite brutal. I wouldn't pick it ever. Same with the speed spec. I guess for some players Marksman Sledge is playable. I don't like it at all, and with it being speed spec it's kinda, you wanna be pushing with the speed spec. It's not a good pushing composition, so I wouldn't pick it that either ever. The Supply Specialist is one of the better ones, but it has balls on the starting units. Not a good unit to start with. But the Crawler is for sure better than the Fang, so it's quite good. I would pick it here for sure. The second choice would be the Aerial Specialist. It has its problems, but it's quite alright. It's a solid choice. I wouldn't be mad about it. I have skimmed through this game very rapidly, so I have some kind of idea what kind of game this will be. It's a standard game and I haven't played standard that much lately. So let's see what I know about these standard matchups. So the enemy has Sledgehammer Arclight and he's a Rhino spec. So what do we do turn 1? 250 monies. I think there's one correct play here, only one. What will we do? I knew this already. I tricked you, so we deploy the Marksman, and I think this is... The Marksman overlaps its role with the Steel Ball. They are both like single target damage. And the enemy has Marksman Arclight. And he could go Fang or Crawler here. The enemy, I mean. So you don't want to go more Crawlers into the Sledge Arclight. And you don't want to go Arclight, because you don't know if he's gonna build a Sledge or Crawler or a Fang. You don't want Arclight versus Fangs. So I think the only play this turn would be to go 2 Fangs round 1. It's probably, or maybe Arclight would probably be like the best for round 1, but worse for the future. But Fang would be pretty good round 1 and best for the future. The shield is nice here because the enemy has no shield break. We have the balls. And also here the starting deployment is kind of weird because everything is in the corner. I don't know what these two guys know about each other's playstyles, but if you were pushing into this kind of position, it's very easy to win. Marksman is really bad against any kind of pushes. You put one Crawler in the flank, everything pulls to it. How you prevent it is you deploy the Crawlers behind your tower vertically, so only half of them go to the flank, half continue forward. And this round 2 play was quite okay. We need some chaff clear, and the sledgehammer is a good option. And the reason why I don't like the marksman is I compare them to the phoenix. Like they cost more deployments, because you get 2 phoenixes for 1 deployment, but you only get 1 marksman. And the deployments are quite valuable. It's better to deploy chaff early than go like phoenix, in my opinion. Then the phoenix also cannot be hit by ground units, so that usually means that they survive longer without any technologies. With the marksman you usually need the range quite early. But with phoenix you can delay it a long time, I feel like. Well, here for example, I think you have to pick the Scorpion here. It's also the most amount of money here, right? But if we weren't into this marksman, we could pick Phoenix here. Like, imagine if these 2 marksmen were 2 forward fangs, and now we get Phoenix here. Then we could set up like a Vulcan Phoenix composition for the next turn. Just go Vulcan next turn. It's very strong here. Now we have quite a many suboptimal units here. Like, the enemy has a very good all-around composition, good chaff clear with the sledge's arc lights, good single target damage. Like, we have the balls, which are kinda not that good. Then we have the marksman, which are kinda bad. So the enemies, we are stuck in a mirror matchup, but the enemy is just more efficient. It's kinda terrible position here. The amp core looking quite juicy. We have a level 2 Scorpion. Then if it gets like hard countered with melting points, you can always sell it. Okay, we go for the missile strike. I think that's a big mistake. I think the amp core is more tempo this turn, and it's better for the future. So I think there's no reason to go missile strike here. And now we kinda need to deploy the chaff here, because we used more deployments to the marksman. And the marksman soak up so much resources because you need to go the range so early. Like, here the enemy isn't taking the range for the Phoenix, and they still do fine, right? And we had the problem last turn. We didn't have any chaff clear, and we didn't have chaff in front to protect. So we are kinda like 1 step behind. So now what we are lacking is a chaff clear. And also leveling the sledgehammers in the middle was probably a mistake against the huge Scorpion. Oh, and the enemy picked the amp core, so we cannot kill it, right? So that's kind of a tempo loss. And the Phoenix didn't die to the missile strike because the enemy upgraded the defense upgrade, I guess. So they go over 3000 health. Can we kill it? Close. But no. Here the laser sight is pretty good. Orbital okay, but it's so bad to pick the orbital. I think it's always laser sight here. But this is the boat is kinda... I think given the current situation, maybe the boat is the best play. Or maybe you just go more into scorpions here. Not quite sure. It's kind of weird because we lack two things. We lack chaff clear and we cannot kill the huge scorpion on the left. So we are just like one step behind all the time. So now we are trying to answer the scorpion, but he's throwing chaff our way. So maybe the correct play here, actually, given this situation where we are now, maybe you could oil the left side where the big scorpion is and put two boats on the right side. Try to win that side and delay the left side. And then next turn go Vulcan to the left side. Because we need to clear these crawlers somehow. We need to do it next turn. So given the situation we are in, I think that would have been nice. Two boats on the right side and oil on the left. Then Vulcan next turn. Looking quite grim here. Well, there's some chaff clear. There's Wraith, Vulcan. The Fire Badger is probably bad against the Scorpions. Yeah, I guess the Wraith is good. I don't have experience with this. I can't really say if the Wraith is better than the Vulcan. No idea here. And the ground cannon also kind of weird. I'm used to like this long range battles, you always go range, but I guess the sledges still move in front of the boats and the Wraith is going in front of the boats, right? So maybe the ground cannon is okay here. And we really need damage to kill the Scorpion. So I guess the ground cannon is the only tech that actually gives damage. But you just die to the Phoenix, right? With the forward overlords. But on the other hand, there's no late fangs or anything here coming, only crawlers. So I guess it's okay play here. Let's see if we can survive here. The enemy took the raid as well. If we survive here, maybe there's some angle. Couple of wasps next turn. Go mass boat. But usually the ground cannon is good when you are pushing or defending a push. Like you cannot go range next turn, for example, against the Phoenixes with the ground cannon. Because the ground cannon range is less than the range overlord range, so it doesn't even fire. Okay, it's just over. Yeah, I think the biggest mistake of this game was actually the turn 1 deployment of the marksman. I think that snowballed the game. Like the Fangs would have set up Vulcan better, I think. And there was the Phoenix drop on, was it round 3? I think that was the angle. Like skip the marksman, just go Fangs. Go Vulcan, take the Phoenix. And then the second one was the amp core. I guess you don't have to take the amp core, it's not like 100% right pick, but it's pretty good value. But yeah, I think it was the marksman. It's quite a underwhelming unit, the marksman.